Yep, so hello and welcome back. It is now the 18th of May, and last time we went to the lumber mill and we had our first proper experience with our first proper level. And we investigated the scene where the team suspected that Anna had been killed, and they confirmed it at the scene that she had been killed there. They also found out that someone had maybe been watching and that Anna had at least gone there on her own volition and wanted to go there, as she was sort of in a relationship with whoever killed her. And we also found out that the murderer has a tattoo / scar on their back, which is an upside down peace symbol. So that's interesting. Now I think we're just gonna go to the diner and have a little late dinner with the team and talk about the case. So let's do that.
Welcome back, everyone.
Thomas.
So once again, I was completely fucking wrong about what chapter we were gonna play, because this was the town hall meeting chapter. Right after we got out of the lumber mill with George and Emily, we then drove back to the police station, and outside Thomas greeted us and let us know that he had called everyone into a town meeting that would happen the day after between 1500 and 1700, which is, by the way, a weird thing in this game. They use specifically Scandinavian metrics of measuring time compared to American measures. My initial thinking was that they simply didn't know that Americans use the AM/PM system, but this is a game that's kind of badly programmed, so maybe the game just couldn't work on a 2 times 12-hour system, and it had to be a 24-hour system for everything in the game to work. I kind of think that's the issue here. And they could have adjusted the script and just had the internal clock be 24 hours and then be the external clock, the clock that the people use in the narrative, be the AM/PM, but they didn't. So it can either be a translation area or it can be a gameplay thing. We are then also introduced during this chapter to a mechanic, and that is that some things in the game, they don't take place right after other things. Like here, we exit the lumber mill about 21:30, and the town meeting isn't for another 15 hours. And that is of course a prompt for us to go out and explore. There is Agent Honor that we can collect, which will get us money, and that money can be used to buy guns and food and suits and all that jazz. And there are also these other collectibles and these side quests that we can do that will get us special guns and special suits, I think, and other stuff like that, and cars. But we are marathoning this game a little bit, so instead of going and exploring for about 15 hours, we're gonna smoke cigarettes to pass the time, because cigarettes in this game is not a fast travel, it is a fast time travel. And when you smoke cigarettes, time will accelerate faster. So you smoke 4 big ones like we do here, and then it's 15 hours later and it's time for the town hall meeting.
Greenvale Community Center.
Oh yes, and on the way to the town hall meeting, York mentioned that he used to rent the movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Deadly Spawn, and that he really likes Tremors, and that he thinks it's Kevin Bacon's best performance, I believe. So, some nice movie trivia. So yeah. And if you're wondering why there are bees swarming around my York, it's because I didn't change my clothes. I had it on for like super long. You need to sleep, you need to eat, and you need to shave, and you need to shower / change your suits. Or else you will be disgusting and gross. And apparently the team, I don't know, got confused by bees and flies. So when you are a smelly man, there are bees flying around you. So in the next chapter, there'll just be bees flying around York for some reason. Well, not some, yeah, the reason will be that I forgot to shower, and that's why there are bees there. Because bees are apparently attracted to stench in Greenvale. That can be that can be the reason.
I've come to this town to solve the murder of this young, beautiful girl. And to bring the one responsible to justice.
So the town hall meeting starts, and we inform the town probably that Anna Graham has been killed, and we warn them not to step outside, especially not during the rain, because there is this raincoat killer guy who is now roaming about. There are two people who are not at the town hall meeting. One of them is Anna's mom, Sally. She's not there because she's overcome with grief, and the other is Diane. It's actually not mentioned that Diane isn't there, but I know that she's not there because her name was mentioned as being the lady who wears stiletto heels around everywhere, including potentially going to a forested area, and we did not get to meet her during the town hall because after York has his speech about, people not being supposed to go outside, we get an opportunity to go talk to each individual citizen that showed up at the town hall meeting. This of course means talking to Thomas again, who's a part of the team, and Emily and George, and also running into Harry and Michael again, who we met earlier at the hospital.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, the purple fog appears with rain, soiling and ruining our town. The evil does not drain.
Harry gives us a bit of a cryptic hint, and George gets mad at him for not actually just saying outright what it is that we need to do. It's kind of fun because Harry or George kind of half mentions the title of the game, because they mention something about having a premonition, which always gets a bit of chuckle out of me.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, pay close attention to the signs, the omens, and the premonitions.
We also run into Usher, of course, and Fiona, who we also met at the hospital. They don't really have anything super interesting to say related to the case. What interesting thing they have to say is that Usher is apparently very rich, and that he used to be a doctor in Hollywood, and that he kind of came to Greenvale out of the goodness of his heart because he wanted to give back to the community. Some of the new faces we are running into here at the community center is Lysander.
So you're the FBI agent, are you?
He is a former Vietnam general, and he now owns the junkyard where we can buy cars.
Your little speech, you mentioned the raincoat killer.
Was that a problem?
You imbecile.
And there's also Wesley the gunsmith. He owns the Panda Bear Gunsmith store, which is a store that's open at night. So Wesley is obviously a vampire.
I ain't got nothing to tell the cops.
And then we also run into Jack.
Shut up.
The raging bull, who is very angry.
Zach, this is a waste of time. Let's go.
And Gina the Rose, who is very slutty.
Hey, good looking. Nice speech.
And those two own the gas station. They serve no purpose in the game at all. I don't know why they're here. I no idea. You can go to the gas station and you can fill up your car. That's about it. And when you are at the gas station, you can also get your windows cleaned. If it's Jack who comes out of the gas station, he will just take your money and spit on the windshield, and then he'll walk in. And if it's Gina who comes out of the gas station and washes your windows, she will wash your windows. And I guess it's supposed to be sexy. It's really not sexy. It's awkwardly sexy. Which is not sexy. I'm not even mad that they're in the game and that Gina is slutty and the jacket mad. I'm just confused as to why. They don't have any side quests, they don't serve any purpose. You can... the only thing you can do is you can bribe Jack for tips, and those tips, from what I remember, don't mean anything. So yeah, that's it.
If you want info, it'll cost you. I only talked to Ben Franklin.
But we did run into some other people that are actually interesting. We of course ran into Polly, and Polly was being like really weird and cryptic, and she didn't want to answer any of our questions, which was a bit weird.
I see. So, what's your favorite play?
Oh, I almost forgot, Mr. Morgan. We're going to have another guest soon.
And then we ran into Sigourney, the pot lady.
Oh my pot is getting cold.
Who is a weird lady with a pot. She didn't say anything interesting, but her existence is interesting because she's a weird lady with a pot.
No time for chatting. I need to hurry. My pot is getting colder. Oh, you're useless.
Zach, we've met all sorts today, but really, she takes the cake. Amazing.
And then there's Brian the Insomniac. He is the gravekeeper and is probably preparing for Anna's funeral, I guess. York mentions that we're gonna go see him later, so I guess we're gonna go see him later.
Anna was an airhead.
And then we talk to Carol, who is apparently Thomas's sister. The odd thing is that Carol owns a bar, and she was apparently good friends with Anna.
She changed her hair every day. If she lost a pound, she'd be ecstatic. Gain one, and she'd almost be in tears. She broke many, many plates every day at the diner, and she'd always have a smile on her face, always having fun.
I don't know how she can be good friends with a teenager when she is an adult bar owner, because it's not like Anna worked at the bar, she worked at the diner. I guess Carol could have eaten there, but it's a bit of a strange relationship. And when we then say something about how the twins reacted to Anna's death, Carol kind of like storms off, so that's kind of weird.
Isaac and Isaiah said that Anna was a fairy of the forest. A goddess.
And speaking of the twins, we finally got to meet their parents, Lily
Yes, I'm Lily.
and Keith.
Hey there, FBI. I'm Keith Ingram.
Keith is a rockabilly man who is a bit strange, and Lily is this like normal-ass wife who is not strange and like a weird rockabilly. They own the local convenience store, which we will go to at a later point because we need to do some side quests. Because those side quests, they unlock some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, cool, man. Rock on, FBI.
And then we of course also ran into Lily's dad, Jim Green, who was with the twins when they found Anna, and who we also met at the crime scene. And I think that's all. No! We met Olivia
Olivia, Nick's wife?
and Nick.
That's right.
Nick is an asshole and he didn't want to talk to us, and Olivia is very nice and she did want to talk to us. They own the diner that Anna worked at, and we're gonna go talk to them later. So, and that's pretty much the chapter. We get introduced to pretty much every NPC in this chapter that's gonna be relevant to the story, with of course the exception of Sally and Diane, and a character that we will meet in the next chapter who's just arriving at the hotel. And Polly is actually going straight from the meeting hall to go back to the hotel and greet him. Oh, yes, and I forgot about 2 NPCs. We also talked to Quint.
So Anna was killed. But why does that bring the FBI here?
Who is Anna's friend, and he is in a relationship with Anna's best friend Becky, who actually also wasn't at the meeting hall, which is also strange. And then we ran into Quint's dad, Richard.
You're York, right? I'm Richard Dunn, the owner of the darts bar, Swery 65.
Who is definitely in a relationship with Anna's mom, so that's also interesting. And that's pretty much the chapter. Just getting to know a bunch of people. Yeah. And now we sort of have an overview of what this town is like. We know that this is a very close-knit community. Anna's death affects absolutely everyone because there are so few people in this town that they are all kind of friends, despite their age difference and all that. And that's a really interesting dynamic, especially given where I currently live, which is a bit of the same situation actually. And we've unfortunately also had some pretty tragic deaths that have really like shook up the community and shook up multiple generations of a community because everyone kind of knows everybody. So this chapter, it really speaks to me actually. And it's funny because I've played it multiple times and I have played it while I've lived here, but it isn't until now when I'm marathoning it this way that it really fucking hits me, that it's a really well written game, you know, like super well written. And I'm looking forward to playing more of it tomorrow, where I believe we will go to the diner finally and have some dinner with the investigation team. I'll see you then.